Watch who? Hello,
Hello,
and welcome to Watch Who, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Mark,
I'm Sarah,
and I'm a Doctor Who fan,
and I'm new to watching Coombe.
watching for the very first time.
Very first time.
And what was I going to say? Aloha, we're in Spain.
We're in Spain.
Oh, do you know what I meant to look up? I was going to say welcome to Watch Who in Spanish, and I completely forgot to do that.
I can't remember.
I don't
haven't
know
done
any
Spanish.
Spanish. I
I've
don't
done
know
Spanish
it.
since year 9, and there's not a lot of Spanish opera songs.
Bienvenido a dos Mira Queen. So we're in Spain. It's the two doctors.
So we're in Spain.
In Seville, to be precise. Lovely sunny location. Just chilling out on the veranda.
Relaxing.
How are you?
I'm all right. Yeah, not too bad.
Good.
How are you?
Yeah, good.
In Spain, apparently.
Totally chilled out in Spain.
I mean, not like it's end of January, early February, freezing or anything. Nothing like
No.
that. No.
Well, I've got an update for you.
Oh, go on.
The vote is in for our baking challenge.
Right, go on.
And with 53% of the vote,
Oh, not as much as you. It's pretty. Okay, go on.
it's Mestor, the grey slug.
Oh, no. Okay, I'll make a slug.
Chameleon got 42%.
Right.
Other 5%. We did have a couple of suggestions. The Merca, that big, the thing in the underwater one, that big thing the Silurians had, the big green
Yeah.
pantomime horse.
Right.
Or the Malice.
People think we have more talent than. I can make a slug. Yeah.
And there was another comment. It's gone. I swear it was there before. Someone said do like a mini master, like just on a biscuit, which would be
I mean,
make it
that's
easier.
a painting one more than anything.
Yeah. So I mean, I think we should try and bake a Mestor, as we did put the vote out.
Yeah, I said that.
It's either that or Nicola Bryant's cheesecake from the Doctor Who cookbook, which I sent you the video of if you want to have a
I was
look.
starting to read it. So we will go with Nestor.
Let's do Mestor. Maybe I'll find a photo of and send it, and then we have to both go from the same photo of Mestor.
Fine. Yeah, fine.
Yes, and it's very apt this week talking about food because there's a sort of a food theme to the two doctors a little bit.
Yeah, right at the end when they're both not going to eat meat anymore.
So are you pleased that it's Patrick Troughton as the other doctor?
Yes, but it's a bad story.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay.
Do you not think?
It's a long story.
I'll tell you what, right? Patrick Troughton is great. It shows how good of an actor he is. He's great when he's on screen, when he's playing the doctor, when he's, they go to the restaurant, all that stuff, right? But they don't really interact that much. And it's just a gimmick because to, have another doctor and have a gimmick for there's nothing about the two of them having to work really together other than like in the 3rd episode when they get a key off a chair. I don't fully understand why they've been brought together other than it's just made out like they've crossed paths. That's it. It just wasn't a great story to show off. It was just a ploy of, well, we'll get another doctor back because that's always popular.
I can see what you mean because again, it's all about the fans, publicity. So you've got let's get the second Doctor back, let's get the Sontarans back, and oh look, we're going to Spain this time. Like we always go to these foreign locations for publicity.
Yeah.
It is a bit like that. And the writer is a good writer. He wrote for Tom Baker. He did the Fifth Doctor's last story. Was the last one he wrote.
Yeah.
Really good. Like because a lot of these other ones are like newer writers a lot of the time. This guy's done a lot of popular stories, but he's given a shopping list. You've got to have the Sontarans, you've got to have the second Doctor and Jamie, you've got to have Spain, you've got to, do all this stuff. And like he said, yeah, it's really difficult when you're given a shopping list of stuff by the producer to try and make something out of it. He's not just given the freedom to do it. So yes, and it is 3 45-minute episodes. It's the equivalent of a 6-parter back in the day. Well, let's start at the
Well,
beginning and just
but in the new format of 3, but it's the time of a
yeah,
six-parter,
it's
yeah.
the time of a six-parter, basically. Let's start positive though at the beginning. So it starts off with the second Doctor and Jamie.
Look at the size of that thing, Doctor. Yes, Jamie, that is a big one.
Yeah, I mean, that was nice. I mean, I like Jamie.
Do you think he could still get away with playing younger Jamie?
No, neither of them got away with that, but there's no way around it.
Well, it's weird because when we had the second Doctor in the Five Doctors, he had like dark hair. I don't know if they dyed his hair there. They didn't dye his hair black. They
No.
could have, I mean, they could have dyed his hair black in this. I don't know why they left it. And this has opened up because you've got the second Doctor and Jamie. No, they mentioned Victoria. They've dropped Victoria off
Yeah, they
somewhere.
meant, but yeah.
And there's obviously no Zoe or anything. So, in terms of like the fan explanations of this, because you've got the second Doctor and Jamie, they talk about the Time Lords and stuff. They didn't find out about the Time Lords until the second Doctor left. The Doctor looks older. So, there's a fan theory about the second Doctor and Jamie here. And there's this here, it's in the books, it's in some of the audios and everything. This is like a whole thing that's been made up since called season 6B. So the second Doctor left in the War Games at the end of season 6, and
Yeah.
the Time Lords sent him, made him change and go to Earth and stuff. Yeah. So the theory is this is set afterwards, where the Time Lords are like sending the Doctor on missions and stuff. This is before he regenerates.
This is sort of indicated anyway, isn't it? It's sort of indicated that he's been sent by the Time Lords.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so whatever reason he's picked up Jamie and Victoria afterwards. I mean, because Jamie had his memory wiped and stuff, but he's
Yeah, they
obviously
both
got them
did,
back.
yeah.
So there's this whole like idea that they had a whole series of adventures for the Time Lords in between, and then they wiped their memories and then sent them back. So this is like season 6B. So that's why he looks older, because he is older in a
Right, yeah,
way.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I could get that as a again though, like it doesn't matter too much. It's that initial shock, I think, when you see them in that setting of the TARDIS and stuff, and you're like, oh, time has happened. But then after like once he was with like the new Doctor, I didn't even think about it because he's Jamie.
And it's quite a long time with just them going onto the ship. And like you say, they've got this Time Lord mission. So were you sort of getting into the story then, or were you just like, this is not not much is happening, or
The first again, it's always that first one. The first one, I did sort of get into it. So I'm trying to think. For me, the couple in Spain didn't really add much.
oh yeah, so that's Oscar and
What's
what's
her
his name?
name?
Oscar and Anita.
If anything, it kind of like ended up confusing me more because they're jumping about from like space to Spain a bit.
There's a lot of this happens a lot in this season. And I don't think we had this before, and maybe it is the 45-minute format where okay, so way back, even like in the Fifth Doctor times, you would start off a story, you'd have like, I don't know, someone on a space station being attacked, cut to the Doctor in the TARDIS, cut back to those people in space, cut to the TARDIS arriving, and then they would meet those people that we've just seen, and the story would tie up and it would sort of go along that way. But a lot of these, I'm finding you've got Second Doctor and Jamie, you've got Shockeye and all of that lot, back to Doctor and Jamie, then you've got Cassini or whatever. Then you've got the Sixth Doctor. Then you're back to the Second Doctor. Then you've got Oscar and Anita. Then you've got, and then they don't necessarily all meet up until like end of episode 2, like an hour or whatever in. It doesn't tie up, and you just got these random cuts to other
Yeah.
things, and there's a lot of them.
Now, where it worked well for me was the one with the commander or whatever he's called, the TV one.
The TV, oh, Vengeance on Varos.
Yeah, that worked well because, like, in terms of
It
cutting
tied
through,
up, yeah. They met
I-
and it flowed, yeah.
yeah, for me, this was very broken up. And I mean, I followed it just about, but I didn't enjoy it as a story.
I feel like it was lots of slow moments. I think you could take a whole episode out. This could be 2 episodes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think, I don't know, for me, I couldn't work out what the benefit was for some people being there.
Who do you mean?
The Sontarans, for a start.
Well, I think again they're there A to be a monster of the week, B so you can say to the fans, guess what, the Sontarans are coming back, but not a
They
good costume
added
again. No,
absolutely nothing to that story. You know who they are. That's about it. We haven't seen them in a while, but we know who they are. The guy with the glasses, the scientist guy.
The Starry, yeah. Oh my god, if I get prescription sunglasses, I could look like him.
You could, Mark. You could.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get to Starry sunglasses.
You need your shiny outfit as well.
Oh yeah, I could do that.
Yeah. So then, what was his name?
Um, the Starry.
Starry.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, it was Destari, female Lara Croft girl,
Oh, Chesini. Yeah.
Cassini.
Hang on, Lara Croft. What do you mean? What do
As
you
in,
mean?
like, she's supposed to be like sort of getting involved. She's got her gun, she's got her stuff going on. She's very like,
You
but
mean
then she's
the
also,
Andrew?
it turns out she's been like redone, hasn't she?
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So her and him, and then the guy that just wants to eat humans.
Oh yeah, Shockeye. Yeah.
Shockeye, the more primitive version of what she is. It's just them three. Do you know, like, they're the baddies. They're doing stuff. And then the only reason the Sontarans are there is because they're being told, they're like, you do this. That's it. They have enough, like, it doesn't bring anything.
I think they're just really long scenes, like especially with that second Doctor talking to Dastari for that right in the beginning of part one, explaining the plot. It's just quite slow, and then
I think you need it though, because
there's a lot going on. It
there's
sets
a
it all
lot.
up. Yeah, there's a lot, maybe too much, because then you've got the Doctor and Perry. Doctor's fishing, and Perry's in a Perry's in appropriate clothing this week for the weather.
Yeah, she is. For Spain as
First
well, yeah.
time. Although that top is like bacon foil. She's gonna roast in that, isn't
She'd be
it?
roasting, yeah. Very
So at
80s
least
though, very 80s.
that's so 80s. It's weird she's got that like headband across
Yeah, probably because she was
as well.
sweating so much, shiny top.
Yeah. They take a little bit of time to they're sort of on their own, aren't they? There's all that stuff in the TARDIS.
Well, that's
And then
it.
they
Because you've got all the second Doctor and Jamie stuff, and they arrive, and they're like real meeting, then there's that big explosion, and then it kind of just cuts to, and it's quite a while in, and then we cut to the new Doctor. 7th? What are we on now? I don't know.
6th.
6th Doctor. I was going to say his number, and I was like, then you go to the 6th Doctor, and then yeah, you're there just fishing casually, and I don't know. For me, they just didn't tell you up stories.
No, because you've got they take the Doctor away. Jamie is supposedly on that ship. I don't know why Jamie goes feral later on. How
And
long
then
has he been
also-
there? How long has he been?
Also, you know, when we see the Doctor feel like, oh, something's happened to me, surely all the previous incarnations would feel that at some point too.
I think these are questions we don't ask.
Mark, explain. But why?
Maybe he was like the nearest Doctor to it all, maybe, or something.
I don't know, but like, I mean, if we're going back to like the whole Five Doctors theory, when things were happening, this sort of sense, I don't know. I enjoyed the moment where he thinks it's the end of the world, and then he realizes, oh no, there's like this is the reason. When he sees the things in the thing all dying, like,
Oh, the people in the tube where it's like a projection. Yeah. But you've got so much time because you have all the Doctor and Perry in the running out of oxygen on the deserted ship. It's a
Yeah.
lot of time. The cool bit though, I love the bit where they're climbing in the ship, and it's literally up high. It's like a climbing frame that's all lit with all different colours. They're actually up quite high, climbing across it. And that's where Jamie attacks Perry. But that's what I don't get. I never understand because Jamie, how has he been? What, he's just been surviving there, and what, he's just changed into this as in these rags, and he's like some tramp in the ship, and he just recovers suddenly, and then Jamie just sort of accepts the new Doctor and Perry, doesn't really ask many questions, just gets on with it, and suddenly I don't know, it's just too easy. Surely you should be more like amazed that there's this other Doctor and what's happened to his Doctor.
He's not the Doctor I know.
I am so, Jamie McCrimmon. I am another aspect of him, just as he is of me.
Eh?
I was him, he will be me.
Who will I be?
There's no. He's happy. He's
He
more
asks a
happy.
bit about his doctor. He does ask a
Not a
few times,
lot.
like, "So you're the same." But you're right, he's very accepting. You were also pointing out for me all the reasons why this isn't a great story. I'm just gonna
Well, do you know, I was middling on this anyway. I thought you would like it because Patrick Troughton was in it, and you like that. But in terms, like you say, in terms of story, it's not like they have much time together anyway.
No, they really don't.
And it was
And
watching
that's
it
always
this
the fun
time.
bit. When you're gonna have doctors, you either wanna see them I mean, he's not even with his companion. He's not even with Jamie that much. It's only the first 10 minutes of the story. Then he's not the whole point is I'm just trying to get him and Jamie back together. There's you either want to see the old companions and doctors together, and you're like, "That's nice," and you know them, and that's comforting, or you wanna see the doctor and the doctor engaging. That's what you want.
Yeah, and you don't get that. And then the second Doctor has turned into the Andrew for half of it, so he's not even playing the Doctor. He's this other sort of taken over. He's this other version.
Yeah, which can we just talk about very briefly? He's brilliant at that.
Oh, all of his acting is great. Yeah.
Throughout, he's
Oh
so
yeah.
good at that. Like that scene in the restaurant was the needed light comedy. That whole scene where the guy's like, "And do you serve humans?" Like I found it really funny. I enjoyed that whole stuff. I enjoyed Patrick Troughton being asleep on the table at the end of their like however many course meal that they just keep eating. I just found the whole thing. There could have been a bit more of a joke when they found him about like having a stomach ache or something, but like that is a lot of food. But yeah, I enjoyed all of that.
So going to Spain, I mean, again, I think the producer just wants a holiday in Spain, and it's cheap
I
enough
read
to go
about
to Spain.
this. I read about this. Sarah
Oh
did
yeah.
a little
Oh
bit of
God.
research, mainly to check that I'd understood something in the plot. So I did read this, and I did. So it was what I thought. The original plan was to go to America, and that failed. There wasn't budget, and then it was going to be somewhere else. I can't remember. That got turned down, so they ended up the budget wasn't enough, so they ended up in Spain. And the original script was to have more jokes in about like Anglo American stuff, and they had to rewrite the script as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't feel like a polished script. It just
Yeah, and
feels
they
like.
got Patrick Troughton very early on. They signed him very early on to be in the story.
So yeah, I mean, in Spain, I mean, and they
Max
go
with
to
Sarah.
and they find this La Hacienda. And La Hacienda always makes me laugh because I don't know why the word La Hacienda makes me laugh.
Yeah, I don't
But
know why.
there's at uni there was a Spanish restaurant called La Hacienda, right, that I lived nearby. And my housemate, she really wanted a part-time job there. I don't know
Oh
why
my
it's
gosh,
like
you've told me this
waitress. Have I
story.
told you this? Have I told it on here, or have I
Don't
just told
know,
you?
but you've definitely told me this story.
Yeah, maybe I'm gonna tell it on here because I think I was keeping it until we got to La Hacienda. And
Yeah,
she
but
really
you've definitely told it me.
and she was like, she was asking them, sort of pressed them, and they were like, no, no, no. And she was like, oh, just give me a trial shift, give me a. And they were like, okay, we'll give you a trial shift tonight. It's Friday night. It's going to be busy. We won't get anyone else in. You need to turn up. Here's, But so she was like, great. And then they're like, yeah, you just need to wear all black. And we got home and she was like, I haven't got anything to wear. Black. Have you got anything? And I was like, I don't think it's good. She was like quite short. I was like, my trousers are not good. So she tried my trousers on, my jumper. And I was like, this is all I've got that's black. She was like, I'm not going out like this. I cannot go like this. I don't have anything to wear. And she's like, I'm just not going to go. I was like, but they're relying on you. You said you were
And
going.
you
You
might
really
bug
want this
them.
job. And they kept ringing her the whole night. Her phone was going off and she just ignored it. And so then when we walked to uni, it was all like open windows at this restaurant. We just had to like, I don't know why I was keeping out of the way, but we had to duck and avoid La Hacienda from then on because she didn't turn up to this shift. So maybe that much makes me laugh. But that's La Hacienda whenever they say that. Oh, and on the Blu-ray, actually, a couple of things I found out on the Blu-ray. One, the lady that plays Anita, the Spanish lady, she is now vice president of Gibraltar or something now. She's interviewed on
What?
it, and it says she's like the deputy of Gibraltar basically now.
Gosh,
So she's
okay.
done well. And also there's like a making of, but there's like there's like a fan video from I don't know, early 2000s of Nicola Bryant going to Spain on a coach with a load of fans on like a trip. I think they're mainly American fans. I
That
mean, and
must
she's
be the worst thing ever.
but she's the only one that seems to be enjoying it. She's doing like this video diary. Oh, and they're climbing, they're walking over these like bushes trying to find where the fishing scene was. And they're like, is it here? Is it here? I don't know, because it's just this
Like
like
us in London.
barren thing. And they go to the house. Yeah, they go to the house and she's like, oh my God, this is amazing. I filmed here. And the two doctors and the people that own the house now are like, who are you? What are you doing on our property? And there's these American fans. They look completely bored, just in the background, like on their phones, just looking around this house.
Oh
But
my
it's great.
God.
It's Blu-ray on the extras. If you got the Blu-ray, everyone check that out. Nicola Bryant in Spain is hilarious. But but yeah, I mean, I'm sure lots of fans have gone to Seville because of this.
Yeah,
Because
sure.
all that, yeah. Again, it's running around Spain. How many times we've had? What have we had? France. Let's show off running around France.
This doesn't
Amsterdam.
feel too much like showing off Spain, though.
They're running around after, when they're trying to
Not in the
find them.
same
There's a
way.
lot.
It's
They're
not like when they went to the Netherlands, to Amsterdam, and it's just run across a different scene, run across a different scene. Like the whole chase was just them showing up. There's not that much chase in this. They're just in location.
I suppose so, but there is a little bit of it of showing off with the restaurants and stuff, but it's all still, all still
But it's
there and
all
very
relevant to
recognised.
the story. Nothing will be as like show off where we are as Amsterdam.
No, I suppose not. I suppose they are going around the
Amsterdam
restaurants and
was
stuff.
like a 10-minute chase sequence
Yeah, we didn't have that.
of nothing but just locations.
But the funny thing is, in this, so Oscar, I think it's very unnecessarily that Oscar gets stabbed and dies in his restaurant.
Yeah, yeah.
So you
Really
didn't like
dramatic.
those characters at all. They weren't light relief. He had some great lines with all about the moths
It
and
was so
everything.
weird and random. Like, and also, like, I had no emotional attachment to that. I didn't feel sad. I was just like, oh, that happened.
I mean, it adds to this story about the violence again coming back. It's all about cannibalism.
I knew you
Shock
said when
eye.
I watched it. Do you know what I thought? I thought, oh, Mark will comment on this being violent. I
Oh, well,
didn't feel like sad that he'd been stabbed. I was like, oh no, I didn't feel like, oh god, he's dead. I'm like, and it's quite like he has his moment. Do you know what I mean? They give it a moment. It's not like a passing, oh, he's stabbed, oh, he's down. They're all there with him, like, you'll get through it. It's okay. And she's like, Oscar. And he says his, it's a whole thing, says his parting lines. I wasn't emotionally invested enough in Oscar and what's her name to like
Anita. Oh no, I thought they're
to be
quite
that bothered when Oscar was stabbed.
fun to. They are a bit more of a light relief, I think.
There's plenty of light relief in this, so you don't need them as light relief.
It's a bit fun. I mean, yeah, we have all that stuff about the
I
moths.
shot whatever he's called. He's more light relief.
Shock eye. I shot. Well, he's always gone on about eating humans, and he eats the rat, and he's got his swords out with all the meat and everything. the
He's
whole
your
time.
comedy relief, love.
I don't find any of that violent though.
No.
I mean, it's not. I mean,
Well, you're a
what do you
meat
think
eater.
of? I mean, Perry Trauma Watch.
Can I just bring up a story very quickly?
I knew you're gonna say this. No, I know what you're gonna say. Go on.
What am I
know
gonna
it.
say, love? What am I gonna say?
No, I know what you're gonna say.
Mark came in one day at work and was like, Sarah, I'm vegetarian. And I was like, cool, okay. And it was a Friday. And then you went, yeah, I'm going to be vegetarian. I was like, okay. Then it was Monday at work and we were doing brochure stuffing day. And Mark went, oh, well, I had some chicken nuggets on Saturday night. So I'm vegetarian from today. And I went, right, cool. And then they ordered pizzas. What pizza was it, Mark?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what it was,
There was
but
a veggie option, and then there was like this chicken one. And Mark came in with the chicken. I went, I thought you were veggie. And he went, oh yeah, but this doesn't count. I was like, well, what about his chicken? Of course it counts. Well, I just thought I'd have this. Well, there's a true veggie option right next to that pizza. Oh, maybe tomorrow. And that ended Mark's vegetarian.
no, I don't remember. I brought in the halloumi. It's some halloumi.
After you'd had your chicken pizza, yeah.
Yeah, no, I did try. But yeah, I
You'd
knew you were
watched a
going to say that.
documentary about chickens or something, didn't you?
Um,
That was it. You'd watched a documentary about chickens.
oh my God, you've reminded me. I still haven't watched a film. I've got it on Blu-ray, but I haven't watched it yet. It's called Cow. It's like the day in the life of a dairy cow.
Next time,
Look up the trailer, everyone, for Cow.
right?
Oh my God, I mean, I don't
I
think I
feel like the
can
next
watch it.
time we record, Mark will be vegan because he'll have watched that.
Why don't we do the Two Doctors vegetarian challenge?
What? What are you on
And
about?
just be vegetarian for a bit.
But why?
in honor of the Two Doctors.
I'd have no problem with that. I think I'd be fine. I reckon I do like 2-3 days a week vegetarian already.
That's really good.
I've got my Able and Coal box now, so my meat's organic. But
There you go.
I always try and have good quality meat. If I eat out, I can't control when when I eat at home, if I don't have good quality meat in already, like high welfare, then I eat veggie.
Yeah, you don't want Shockeye standard of meat. You
No.
don't want that.
Do you know? But I don't eat lamb. I'm not a fan of lamb. I can't eat duck. I'm allergic.
Oh, right.
Violently allergic. Not bothered by turkey. I like chicken. I enjoy chicken. I enjoy beef. I like sausages.
There we go. We've gone through all the
Burgers.
meats, everyone. Anyway,
Burgers
back
and
to the Two
pizza.
Doctors.
Right.
Back
And
to the
Mark's
Two
a
Doctors.
vegetarian that eats chicken, so
Yeah, there's that cliffhanger where Shockeye's like trying to catch Perry to eat her. That's very violent. I mean, this is going to add into Perry's trauma watch. I wasn't sure which one it would be, but I think it was either being attacked by Jamie or attacked by a cannibal.
I think it's
And I
attacked
think,
by a cannibal more than
yeah,
Jamie. She ends up
yeah,
being friends
yeah.
with Jamie, so
So here we go, everyone. We have got
oh god.
almost
I'll
drowned,
drink my water while Mark's doing this.
almost drowning in Lanzarote, getting spectrox toxemia, been strangled by the new doctor. I'm going to say attacked by the Cybermen, turned into a bird, roped by a tree, and now attacked by a cannibal. There we go.
Turned into a bird is still like the funniest line. One, because I don't remember it. And two, it's just a ridiculous thing to have happened. Turned into a bird.
Do you know what my favourite bit?
I want you saying turned into a bird as my ringtone.
I really liked when, I mean, it's quite chill. The doctor goes off to like investigate the Hacienda. Hacienda, I can't say it. Not Hacienda.
You know, it was your neighborhood Spanish restaurant, Mark.
La Hacienda. He goes off to investigate that. And there's Perry, Jamie, Anita, and Oscar, and they're just sitting on the grass on a sunny day, just chilling out. And Perry's like, "So what do you guys do?" And I just love them all just sitting around having a chat.
Albeit, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of padding in this. Not as much padding as like running around Amsterdam, but there is a lot of padding. This story, I know, right? So I'm right here. You're two Sontarans. Sontarans. Some gas was released.
Yeah,
and then you had one.
Well, they all got green, didn't they? And then the last one, he went in the machine, didn't he? Because he thought it could time travel and it couldn't.
Yeah.
And he got killed. Yeah. Oh, one got his leg chopped off, didn't it? Or stabbed. Jamie stabbed one in the leg.
So the gas goes off and only one gets out.
Yes.
Right? Then he ends up then that happens later. Yeah. Also, why did no one in Spain question a green thumb running around? Looks like a rock thumb.
Yeah, but there was no one else around because it was just that old lady that lived there, and then it was all like deserted in that house. There was no one else around. Yeah.
And I'd placed it because there's different locations. I placed it near the restaurants in my head. You're right. No, they're in the abandoned house.
Because after all the restaurants,
it's a very brief scene of him just running out of a house green, coughing and spluttering, and in my head I'd put it in the town because that's where they were just before.
Because it goes on, because you think everything's sort of over by the time Oscar's stabbed and they get the Androgams back and everything, and the doctor's okay, and then you get the whole extra bit. You think, oh, it's winding down now. That's the finale, but actually it's not. That's just like halfway through. We've got even more to go, and that's when I get a bit tired of it and think it's a bit too long.
Also, sorry, I'm really jumping here, and just as things pop in my head that annoyed me. So right at the very end, right, so we see at the start the second Doctor's TARDIS vanishes, and they're like, "What we're gonna do?" And then he just pushes a button and it appears. He could have done that right at the bloody start.
Well, he was captured, wasn't he? And they
Not
didn't want
instantly.
they didn't want the TARDIS on the ship because they didn't want the Time Lord. The Time Lords didn't want him to know that he was sort of working for them. So he was So that's why I
They
don't
got
think.
rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
And then the Sontarans attacked, took the Doctor away. Jamie stayed there as a tramp. Yeah. Talking about Dastari quickly, the guy who plays him has been in Doctor Who before. I mean, you can probably tell because he's got his cool shades on, but he played Johnny Ringo, one of the cowboys in the Western one with Dodo.
Oh my gosh, that is going back. I remember the name Johnny Ringo.
Yeah. He might
I
have
don't know
shot
who it
Charlie the
was, but I just
Barman.
remember that name.
Did he kill Charlie the Barman? I think he did.
I think he did. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
There's our like the motive for our most controversial hero of the season award.
yeah, it's Dastari.
Motivation? I don't think that's the right word.
And Jacqueline Pearce, who plays Chasini, she's a great actress. She's what Lara Croft, do you call her? I don't know. I liked how that bit where because she's pretending not to be as sort of in primeval as Shockeye, and when it sort of breaks down and she licks the blood on the floor at the end, and then just
That's a
sort of
great
looks as though
scene.
like
That is, and
her
he's in
really
the
good.
background. He can see it happening. That's a really good scene.
Yeah, she's quite I mean, she's known for another sci-fi series in the 70s. She's in a lot of stuff, but I've got her autobiography, which is quite interesting because she talks about in it that
Isn't she
she's
talks
very
about
kind.
Doctor Who in it? Or
Not no, not a lot. I don't think. She talks a lot about having orgasms with. She has sex with the other. She couldn't. She has this. She never like orgasms for a long, 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 long time.
What?
And then she
What?
has sex with her gay friend, and she has like she describes when she has a really amazing orgasm. I mean, that's what Jacqueline Pearce's autobiography is like, and it's read. I've got the audiobook read by
Oh
her.
my god.
To this day, I remain undecided as to what was responsible for this huge milestone in my life. Was it Jim, me, us, or the substance he waved under my nose and which I inhaled with dramatic results? It was amyl nitrate, apparently used frequently in the gay community, but unheard of by myself. After much reflection, I decided that the cause was really irrelevant. A key had been turned, a door opened, and I knew a moment of such beauty, a moment I have never been able to repeat. I said to him, "Jim, I'm coming." And I fell through a night sky filled with stars. My soul surrendered itself completely to his, and we were indeed, in those moments, one being.
It's a good book. It's a good book. It's quite funny, but she goes into a lot of detail in that book.
But not about Doctor Who.
I don't think she talks much about Doctor Who. No,
I just thought you'd bring up the fact that she talks about her orgasms. But
just had to
Crude
mention
watch.
it. Yeah. Okay. Well,
I would rate this 4 out of 10.
oh my god! Wow.
I was giving it a percentage. Like I was like, oh, I rate this like a 40% enjoyment, which is a 4 out of 10. It's not like horrific. Basically, the only reason it's not like a 2 or a 3 is the dinner scene with Patrick Troughton, which I loved. And there were those odd moments that were great, but otherwise, it's a bit of a pointless story for me.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a waste of because I think Patrick
It's a
Troughton. This is
waste
80.
of having the second Doctor there.
I mean, it's great to have more of him because this is like the third time he's come back now, which is great. More than because actually he's what we are 85. He dies like 2 years later.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
It's coming.
spoilers: he's not in Doctor Who again. And it's nice to see Jamie, although I can't like his age does sort of. And like he's in the heat as well with all his kilt, and he's got that thing over in his jacket, and he's out there in the really boiling hot.
But he's still Jamie. Like it's
he
Jamie.
still plays it, yeah.
And I think like that's why I can and I think because he's not with Patrick Troughton, I sort of like you get over it and you do accept that he is Jamie. Like I just sort of grow with it.
I think it's weird to see like the second Doctor and Perry sort of working together on stuff. I just think that's a weird mix. It's really odd to have the current companion and like a Doctor like from way back. Just I think it needed a bit of editing, and they didn't need to go abroad. yeah,
Nothing
bit of
was
a
added
waste.
to it being abroad.
No. And what do you think of the violence at the moment then?
I
Do you
mean, I
think that
didn't
was
think it
too
was that
much? You
violent.
didn't
No.
think it was that
I mean,
bad?
also,
Well, actually, no, the only bit, again, this is the doctor where he chloroforms or chloro whatever's Shockeye and kills him. And again, like the acid bath thing, he's like, he makes a joke.
You're just desserts.
That, again, that's what people say about this doctor. It's too violent. Again, it's that moment of like, he didn't need to do that. I don't think all the doctors would have done that. Can you see them of proper like choking him?
I think he just needed to be knocked out. I don't think he needed to be killed off. I think he just needed to do it enough that he went down so he wasn't chasing him and then they had time to get away.
Yeah.
But
So that
equally, I don't think he could have stayed on Earth.
no, I mean,
He just
and
wanted to
Shockeye,
eat humans. And he has an insatiable appetite.
yeah, I mean, he in a way he did deserve it because it was that. But is it doctory
there
behavior?
was no, I think the issue for me is what, like, if it had knocked him out, he comes to and they've all gone. You've left this thing that just wants to eat humans and has no hit to his stomach just on the planet, right? He'd just wipe out villages.
Yeah, I know you couldn't leave him on Earth, no, but
So, like,
and
they can't take him with him because, like, they're on Earth. They're in Spain. They're on Earth. They're on another planet, and he's talking about and he's just trying to get Jamie and oh my god, Perry. You know, sorry, I got peri chicken in my head then. He's just got it, and the plot is like, oh, I've never tasted human, and he's just trying to get them. You can just like knock him out, get away, right? And like you've had your escape. But it's not. He wants he couldn't be left. He'd wipe out that Spanish
no,
village.
but they get him in the TARDIS and take him to his back in his planet wherever they all
He would
come
be.
from.
They call it the Spanish flu, but it's not. It was him.
Shockeye, yeah.
The shocker getting through the villages. The history books would say the Spanish flu.
Yeah, he plays it really well though. I mean, he must have had a lot of fun
Oh yeah, for
doing
sure.
that. And they all had a great holiday in Spain, so wonderful.
No rain in Spain.
No, there's all like behind the scenes photos of them all playing in the swimming pool and stuff and having a great few days. There we go. That's the two doctors. I thought you might be more enthusiastic, but well, the next story is back to two again.
Okay.
Two, and it's called Time Lash.
Oh, what do I think that's about? I hope it's in space.
Right, yeah.
That's what I
actually, the Doctor and Perry again less bickery than I thought. There's a little bit at the beginning, but they're
Oh yeah, they get on well
good.
there.
It's
Like,
a good
yeah.
story actually for both of them.
Yeah.
They do get a lot to do.
I am aware that we've not gone through this in any order because I could just kept saying things that annoy me about the plot. But
No, it's fine. You say how you find it. It's fine.
I
definitely,
did.
yeah. I think we've covered it. I think people might agree. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think it's 50-50 a lot of the time. But in the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at To Watch Who. We will work on some baking at some point.
Know when, but yeah.
And then we will see you next time for Time Lash.
You can support us at buymeacoffee.com.
And you can support us at buymeacoffee.com/To Watch Who. Let's get into our little transmat thing and get out of Spain then, I suppose, and head off. Oh no, we'll head to the restaurant and have some food. Nice.
Sure.
See you then. Bye.
To Watch Who.